Tomorrow is what the markets are waiting for, guys, because tomorrow we finally get the answer to which direction the market will take, forward or backwards, pump or dump, and it all matters due to this one significant reading that comes out tomorrow, that is released tomorrow from Bitcoin Junkies. Justin, United States inflation expected to rise to 2.8% in tomorrow's CPI report. That's why we dumped. I see. Okay, so I know we know the game plan quite clear. I'm gonna crack the code for you guys on what I think will happen here. Okay, so the median forecast of all these banks, okay, it is 2.8%. I think previously, the previous month right here for June was 2.7%. Okay, for the CPI reading, they think it's gonna go higher. This is bad news bears, guys. Okay, this is not a good look. What's so crazy to me is I did say if we have a black swan event, the only way I think we like go above this moving average is having a black swan event. This could be some type of black swan, though it is expected kind of now. So I'm not too sure. Even if there's a bad reading for tomorrow's CPI report, guys, that could just be an excuse of a dump for cryptos, which means a pump for the USDT dominance charts. This that moving average, right? It goes here and then it just falls back down, right? And then they release the news at the bottom. But all we need to do is just stay below 4.28% about. For the Fed Watch tool, for rate cuts in September, it did drop slightly. I'm guessing by expectations of CPI. If we want to see the Fed cutting rates, we need CPI to come lower, guys. We need it to go near 2%, but we'll see what happens. The market is predicting 2.8% for CPI. If it comes more than that, guys, it's over. Okay, it's literally over. We're gonna dump heavy. Though, if it somehow comes below like 2.7%, like lower than expectations, somehow in some way, I don't know. Maybe they can manipulate the data somehow. Then the markets will soar, right? Quite simple. So watch out. It comes out at 8:30 a.m. EST, if I'm not mistaken. What's funny is Nakamoto CEO David Bailey says he'll smash by $1 billion Bitcoin tomorrow, right? So there's gonna be a lot of buys coming in for Bitcoin, right? Which if that happens, this thing will be pushed lower. That's a very bullish sign. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait to see what the report says, guys, tomorrow. Okay, let me explain to you from my technical analysis side of things what I think will happen. Okay, here's my thoughts. So right now we're below this moving average. Fantastic, amazing sign. This candle closes in about a day and 22 hours from when I'm recording this video. If in the next 2 days we're below this moving average, I'm pretty sure that's the greatest green light we will get, and the markets will pump. Even though if CPI comes in bad, right? Even if CPI comes in bad, like at 2.8% or even higher, but we're below this moving average at 4.28% on the USDT dominance chart, somehow in 2 days, I think the markets will still pump. If somehow CPI comes bullish for markets, right? It comes in lower. It's an easy pump. Okay, just watch out for this, guys. We need to be below this in about literally just 2 more days. That's it, right? Just 2 more days, and things will be looking fantastic for cryptos to go higher. But I do know there's going to be a lot of manipulation this week, so watch out for that as well. Let me show you guys something as well. Okay. Let's go on the lower time frames. What do you guys notice? I have the RSI for a reason here, right? I taught you guys something about divergences. Do you guys notice something? On the daily, there isn't any divergences. Let's go into regular candles. Nope, no like bullish divergence, which is positive for cryptos. 2-day. The 2-day could be forming a bullish divergence within the next 21 hours. Okay, because the 2-day candle closes in the next 21 hours. If somehow this thing closes below this level, right, and the RSI indicator is all the way up here, and then we get pushed up because due to bad CPI reading, we're probably going to dump heavy for cryptos, and this thing is going to soar higher, right? Because there's a 2-day, the 3-day, same thing. Bullish divergences are trying to form right now. So we need this to be killed somehow, okay? If you want cryptos to pump. Other than that, we just have to wait to see what's the reading for CPI tomorrow, okay? And that's it. I hope it's something positive, and not something negative, and not like a negative reading. But here's a bad omen. Here's a bad sign. Honestly, Jim Cramer says he is a huge believer in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and there it is. Okay, so I asked Grok, when was this? The post from Jim Cramer endorsing Bitcoin and Ethereum was made on August 11, 2025. Though I don't think so. I think it was a little bit ago. But I was like, when did this air on TV? The episode of Squawk on the Street featuring Jim Cramer's comments on Bitcoin and Ethereum was aired on August 6, 2025. There it is. So it happened on August 6, guys. Okay, almost a week ago. He said to everyone that he's a huge believer in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and probably in for the long term as well. Listen to this.
Anytime you ever hear about what size the deficit is, or David, you know that the trillions of dollars in the interest has made a lot of younger people feel, this and Ethereum are a better place to be. I'm a huge believer in this, by the way, because I have very little faith that we're going to be able to grow our way out of. I cannot think about how we're going to grow our way out of our situation yet. Maybe
you mean our debt to GDP?
I've not been able to figure out a way. So it's a great.
The only way is for them to collapse literally the whole system.
Hedge against the.
It conceivably is.
Right.
But if there's financial Armageddon, Bitcoin hangs in there, you think?
Yeah, I do.
That's it, guys. Bitcoin is literally gonna die. Jim Cramer just said the hedge to a collapse is Bitcoin and Ether. He didn't mention XRP. He actually a couple years ago called XRP a scam. Just throwing it out there. And Elon Musk said this person is a contraindicator. Whatever he says, the opposite happens. And right now he's saying he's a huge believer in Bitcoin and Ethereum. This was like 5 days ago. Okay? From 5 days ago, what really happened on August 6th? Let's see here. Okay, interesting. We did pump. We most definitely did pump, guys. But is it out of the woods yet? Right? For the short term, I'll just watch out for the reading here, and that's literally it. Just watch out for the reading and see what happens, guys. The fantastic part about Bitcoin right here is there's a CME gap at 117k. Okay, 119 to 117k. It just got filled. Okay, even for XRP, a gap right here, it just got filled. That's actually very bullish. Maybe we'll pump, right? Because if they were, I've noticed this about certain economic events, such as the FOMC meetings. Whatever happens the day before, they do the opposite the day on the event. Okay, so for example, right now we're dumping, right? The opposite of dump is a pump on the event, which is tomorrow. That's what I noticed, but I don't know about CPI. I do know about that. I do know about the FOMC. That's what usually happens. For CPI, probably the same thing. I'm not quite sure, but just be very careful. Now there are whales still buying XRP. It doesn't matter what price XRP goes to. 900 million XRP scooped up by whales in 48 hours. Like what? Like that's just ridiculous, guys. Right? So are they bullish? Sure seems like it to me, right? Ethereum's liquidity is everywhere. XRP's liquidity is everywhere. Bitcoin liquidity is everywhere. Volatile moves incoming. Volatility incoming. Okay, so don't be shocked for us to dump, pump, and all sorts of stuff. Now, here's what's fascinating. President Trump just gave us the call, just gave us the word on what's happening next. President Trump officially extends China tariff deadline by 90 days. Okay, this is all short-term stuff, right? This is all short-term stuff for tomorrow. All this is just short-term, guys. Trump just told us that the market, the bull market, doesn't end for another minimum 90 days. Supposedly, I guess they're never going to go through with these tariffs. They just keep delaying it. It's a tactic for the markets to just keep pumping, right? We actually called this before. It's a method that they're using, guys, a mechanism, right? They literally have a set deadline, and then when the deadline comes through, they just delay it. The markets will become bullish again. So 90 days, a couple more months, okay, that the markets should top out. Not yet. Falls by the fall time frame, by the way. Grok said Bitcoin price will hit $400,000 in the next 90 days. It's happening. Okay. So Grok believes, what was this? November 2nd, 2025, the next 90 days, the tariffs officially extended by. 90 days, Bitcoin 400k in AI stating. What's even more odd, once lawsuit ends, you need to hold your XRP for the next 3 months. 90 days. Why? What's going on here? Right? Seems like a coincidence, doesn't it? Fascinating. Morgan Stanley says the 3-year rolling recession ended in April after a brutal final capitulation, now calling it the start of a fresh bull run. Really? Listen to this.
We believe we've been in sort of a 3-year rolling recession, and that the end of that recession ended in April with the tariffs. That was the final capitulation. So we think that's a new bull market, right? We think the bear market ended in basically April. It was a pretty nasty one. There were several, along the way, and that was the final flush. And now we're in a new bull market, and capital markets.
Wait, he's saying that. What? There was a bear market that occurred in April? In around that type of season? Really? Didn't look like to me. Right? It just looked like another day in crypto. But he's talking about stocks.
Activity is just another sign that analysis or that conclusion is probably correct. We believe
I guess we're just gonna keep pumping, guys, right? And never stop. So there's that. Let's see what happens tomorrow. This isn't financial advice. It's gonna get very volatile. I'll prepare, and hopefully it's a good reading and not a bad one. So the markets can stay bullish. Not financial advice. What is that, Sophie's Mazes? See ya.